not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know are all just passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay. It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know are all just passing fancies, and in time may go. Oh, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here, our love is here, our love is here to stay. Thank you. Here's a tune I wrote. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Open wide the door of faith and find the joy in everyone. Love is always free and it's beautiful for everyone, for everyone. In the grace of God there is justice, justice so all can find peace. When you open a heart that was closed and dark, the love inside is released. Open wide the door of faith and find the joy in everyone. Love is always free and it's beautiful for everyone, for everyone. In the grace of God there is freedom, freedom from hurt and from pain. When you heal a heart that is hurting, only the love will remain. Open wide the door of faith and find the joy in everyone. Love is always free, and it's beautiful for everyone, for everyone. In the grace of God there is wonder, wonder in all that she's done. With thankful hearts we are graced and blessed. Her love has made us all one. Come on, help me. Open wide the door of faith and find the joy in everyone. Love is always free, and it's beautiful for everyone, for everyone. Everyone, love is always free, and it's beautiful for everyone, for everyone. Help me now, come on. Open wide the door of faith and find the love in everyone. Love is always free, and it's beautiful for everyone. Oh, hey, yeah, love. It's always free, and it's beautiful, so beautiful. Open wide the door of faith. Open wide, yeah, the door of faith. Ooh, open wide. Oh, 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 oh. Open wide the door of faith. You'll find the love, you'll find the love, you'll find the love in everyone. It's in everyone. Open wide the door of faith. You try singing that. Go ahead. Open wide. Open wide the door of faith. You try it. One more time. Open wide the door of faith. Come on, singing. Let's do it together. Open wide the door of faith. 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 Open wide. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thanks. Good work.
And a gracious good morning to everyone on this beautiful Sunday. I'm Shirley Thompson, your host for today, and we warmly welcome all people, all faiths, and all lifestyles. Unity of Vancouver is situated on the ancestral unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh speaking peoples who have lived here since time immemorial. It is here that we work, live, and learn together. And now, please join me in our opening invocation. All together now. There is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now let's stand and join together in singing, There Is Only Love.
Love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind and hear Spirit gently say, there is only love, there is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Thank you, Tom and Thomas. And we want to welcome, too, Tom's mom is here today. So what's today's daily word? What's our reflection for today? Well, are you aware it's Palm Sunday? The Christ within protects and clears my way. As I enter Holy Week, I reflect on Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem and how the multitudes greeted him, shouting, Hosanna, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Like so many, I have used the sacred time of Lent to cleanse my soul of beliefs and habits that no longer serve me. I have felt blessed as I have opened my heart to the healing, cleansing waters of Spirit. Now I feel ready to welcome a greater awareness of the Christ within me. Every part of me quivers with eager anticipation. The world seems fresh, and I feel newly alive. I behold the Christ in me and in all others. With joy, I celebrate. With gratitude, I humbly bless the Christ in me and in everyone. And from Matthew 21:9, blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. So today's talk is about consciousness and really about our ability to turn into new and higher levels of consciousness. So let's set the table by reminding ourselves of some relevant spiritual truths. We'll say each statement on the screen just once, but with conviction that we are spiritual beings. Are you ready? All together now. I am one with the universe. I am an intelligent, conscious, spiritual being. I regularly receive, recognize, and follow divine guidance. I let go of anything that doesn't serve my highest good. I give thanks that I am endowed with the ability to co-create my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And our guest speaker today is Reverend Thomas DeSchutter. And today, yes. And today, Thomas will be sharing ideas on how we can all rise into a brand new consciousness. And I'm intrigued to hear what he has to say. Please join me in giving a warm unity welcome to Reverend Thomas DeSchutter.
Good morning, everybody. Wow. It's really great to be here. It's always so good to come here. I feel like I'm at home when I come to Vancouver. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah. And so why don't we just take a moment now and just get present to our being here. And so I invite you to maybe for just a moment here, just close your eyes for a moment and just breathe. Feel that energy that we have within our bodies, that vibration, that frequency, that we know that we're alive when we tune into that. And now maybe, if you're comfortable, just turn to the person next to you on either side and acknowledge our presence here, our being together here today. And for anybody joining online, if you're with somebody, I invite you to do the same. If you're not, then just know that we are connected through some kind of magical frequency out there where you're getting what we're doing here and we're knowing that you're present with us online. And we're just one big community when we want to be. And that's really a consciousness that we can take on, right? We can decide we are one and open ourselves up to all that's around us. And so for today, I invite all of us to move forward with that in mind, that we are open to receive and to share. It's a two-way thing, right? We can give and we can receive from one another. And so now I think we'll do our Aramaic Our Father before we get into the
Holy Spirit, creator of life and all, you create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Our oneness now prevails. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. You give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. You untangle the knots of error that bind us as we also release others. We don't let appearances make us forgetful glorious harmony of life. Now these words are fertile ground from which our future grows.
Thank you, Tom. So let's join together in a little bit of quiet, some meditation. And maybe I'll do a brief covering here of Unity's 5-step prayer process. Maybe there's some that know this, and perhaps there's some here that don't know this, or some online that don't know we have this beautiful 5 steps. And maybe before I go into that, I'll just let you know that for me, this was one of the great gifts from Unity that allowed me to transform my own life by taking on this practice daily for myself. And although it has changed and evolved since I learned it, 7 years ago now, it is a foundational piece in my life. So what it requires is for us to start off by becoming present. And we do that very simply. We can relax into our breath. So when you hear somebody say like that, relax into your breath, whatever that means to you, just interpret that however you feel. I invite you to breathe through your nose into your belly. So there's something that goes on with our nervous system when we do that. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes or find a place on the chair in front of you or the ground or a wall and just soften your gaze. When you kind of widen out your view so much that you're not actually focused on any one thing, you're just softening. And so this first step is relaxation. We begin to relax ourselves. Again, we're breathing, we're exhaling. And with every exhale, allow another part of you to soften. Might be the shoulders, might be an area in your body that feels tight. Bring your awareness there and allow that softening to happen. And as you relax, I'm going to invite you to bring your awareness to something you can concentrate on. It can be your breath. You can continue to watch your breath and intensify that concentration. Or you can bring an I am statement into your mind, like I am love, or I am open, or I am conscious, whatever works for you in that word. And gently allow that to become your focus. And so it might look like you're focused on your breathing, or it might look like you're focused on a particular statement and you're just saying it over and over to yourself quietly within. And if at any time you find that you get off track, just bring yourself back to your breath. Bring yourself back to that concentration. Allow your ears to hear whatever they want to hear. And as you continue, you will find that you will drift into a meditative state where things quieten, things soften. And from here, we'll now move into the silence and deepening our relaxation, deepening our meditation. We'll spend a few moments with intentional silence now. And now slowly and gently, we can bring ourselves back to this presence. Tune into your breath again. Let's take a nice deep inhalation together. Let that go. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll do step 5 of our practice. So we close off the Unity 5-step prayer practice with gratitude. So I invite you to, in a moment, to be grateful for whatever you would like, but I will start with letting you know how grateful I am to be here with all of you, how grateful I am that we get to create this space together, how grateful I am for these teachings that we get to share with one another and experience and converse about. And now you can just bring into your awareness anything you'd like to be grateful for in this moment. Namaste.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it all. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I'm ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I've survived many times before, broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will once more, just as I did back gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. Hey, bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for the next thing to do. Yeah, I know it's gonna be everything new. Yeah, so bring it on. Everything different, everything true. I am ready. Hey, yeah, I'm ready. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
It's like I want to do a whole different talk now than what I had planned after that. I'm like in this whole different space. I'm like, wow, it could be all brand new, man. Just I was reading, I don't know if I was reading or listening to this thing the other day. It's a quick story I'll share, which I thought was really interesting about our lives. It was a great example, I think. At least, let me rephrase that. It's a great example of, I think, my life, but it might be the same for you. So we'll go with that. So there's this couple, and they're preparing dinner. The husband is actually preparing dinner, and he's doing a ham, and he cuts both ends off the ham and puts it in the pan and goes to put it in the oven. And his partner says, you know, I don't know, I've seen you do this 100 times now. Why do you cut both ends off of the ham? And he's like, I don't know, my mom did it, so that's why I do it. And he says, but you know what? Mom's coming for dinner tonight. We can ask her. So Mom comes over for dinner, and they're about to sit down and have dinner, and he says, oh, Mom, I have a question for you. You know, I cut both ends off of the ham, and I learned that from you, and I'm wondering, why did you do it? And she says, oh, because my mom used to cut both ends off the ham. And so I did. And they're like, oh. And she goes, you know what? But let's call Grandma. Why don't we give her a shout and see why? It was like a great question. So they get Grandma on the phone and, you know, do the introductions and all that stuff. And it's like, hey, we have a question for you. You know, Bob, I'll name him Bob, did a ham tonight, and he cut both ends off the ham, like I always did. And he asked, why did I do that? And I said, because you did that. And so why did you cut both ends off the ham? And she goes, oh, because the pan I had would only fit a ham certain size. Right? Is that not how we live, right? It's like, I thought my whole life flashed before my eyes in that pan. Right there, I was like, wow, that is my entire existence. Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Socrates said, be as you wish to seem. Be as you wish to seem. And I'll just read this, the notes I wrote from that. Socrates believed most people don't act the way they truly are. His belief was simple. If you're an ethical person, you'll act ethically. Or turn it around. If you act ethically, you will become ethical if you're not already. So if there's something we want to be in the world, you need to be it. It doesn't just happen, right? We need to actually be that thing, and then it will show up for us. It's kind of like when I prepare a talk. I don't know if there's anybody else here that does any public speaking, but I always go through this state where I get asked for a talk title, sometimes way in advance. And it's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'll see you on the day, right? But so I throw out a title, and then it actually starts to manifest in my life as I move closer to the date of that talk. Things start to show up. YouTube videos or books or notes or things just come into my life that start to line up where, oh, I could use that for this talk. And then I just take notes, and then the talk day arrives and I have it. It's like it's already presented itself to me, but I had to start by throwing out a title of like, this is what I will do on that day. And then it just kind of shows up for us. Has anybody experienced that with your life where you've decided you're going to do something? And then how about, has anything happened that you wanted to do it, but you never really said you would do it? Like, I know there's sometimes accidents happen, right? But really, if we're not committed and speak into the world what it is we want, chances are we're not going to see it materialize. Eric Butterworth preached, this being Palm Sunday, he preached that not just the kingdom of God. So he didn't just talk about the kingdom of God. He actually talked about the power of the kingdom of God, which is a different thing, right? They're two different things. One is static, but the other one is actually active. It has activation in it. And so when we want to bring ourselves to a new consciousness, we can do things. And I think you'll find, so the 5-step prayer process, which is to relax, concentrate, meditate, go into the silence, and be grateful, right? 5 simple steps. You can do them in probably 2.5 minutes if you really wanted to. Like if you needed to do a speed meditation, like, don't they have like speed networking and speed dating and stuff like that? We could do speed meditations. But you could, right? You could actually get so good at centering yourself and calming yourself by practicing so often that you can call upon that activity in a moment when you're in a crisis or you're upset or something's going on. You can just pause the action when you get really good at it and just be like, okay, hold on. Thank you. That was fantastic. Right? Just like all 5 steps covered right there. But we can do that. And it's through a practice like that that the internal within us begins to shift. See, we're actually working on ourselves when we do that. And it's that process that begins to change our physiology, our nervous system. It rewires our brain. And the more that we do it, and this is all scientifically proven, I'm not making this up. The more that we do this and the more that we practice a meditation practice, whatever it looks like for you, your life will change around you. Different people will show up in your life. Different opportunities will show up in your life. You will find that you might be doing things that you no longer wish to do. Has anybody had that? You're doing things, you're hanging out with certain people, you have ideas or ways of thinking that just kind of drift away. They don't serve you any longer. Yeah, and you just want to, at least for me, I find I just want to do that more then. Because I like this new state that I'm experiencing, right? Life is now, it's not so stressful. It's not so panicky. So I'm going to try something kind of brand new that I haven't really played with too much before. I like to challenge myself with, hey, let's talk about something we don't know very well in front of a bunch of people. That'll be really fun. Because then you really learn what works and what doesn't work, right? In those moments, you're like, oh, that didn't work. I need to, so we'll exclude that next time. I listened to, anybody familiar with Dr. Dan Siegel? He has something called the Mindsight Institute, and this is the Wheel of Awareness. Anybody familiar with the Wheel of Awareness? Okay, a few people. What's that?
Dr. Dan one.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a few people here that are familiar with that. All right, well, I'm going to walk you through sort of my version of the Wheel of Awareness. So if you can imagine, we're going to have two wheels here. So we're going to have an inner wheel, a hub, and we're going to have an outer wheel. And so maybe if you're like me, you don't imagine those things very well, so I'll just try to give you an image here that you can look at if you're somebody that struggles with visualizing this stuff internally. So the little hub is going to be about this big around, and we'll put that right here in the middle of us, okay? So this is our internal belief system down here, right? This is where our wisdom is, and of our 12 powers, we got wisdom, we got order, we got strength, we got release, all hanging out down in here. We got life, right, in this area. So that's our inner hub. And then there's going to be this outside rim, right? That's outside of that, and that's going to be this big rim. You might want to think of this like a pizza, and then you'll be really hungry after this exercise. But, so if we do that, so this inner rim is like the things, all-knowing. It's like our all-knowing is in this interior, and on this exterior is what can be known, right? So think of, you're walking around, you see something, you hear something, that's something you can know, but inside here we have what is already knowing. Does that make sense? You with me on that? There's things that we already know, they're concretized, and then there's the things that we can know. And that's on the outside rim, and so we have this center, and then we have this spoke that comes out of the center like a dial. So I like to think of my motorcycle. I have the speedometer and the tachometer, the tach on there, and they're old, right? They're kind of old-fashioned, so they've got the round and they got the little spoke that goes around on there, right? That tells me how fast I'm going and stuff. So that's what we're talking about, is this dial that can go around and relate to the outside rim. Now, we can divide the rim into 4 quadrants. Okay, so there's going to be 4 quadrants on this outside rim, and this spoke, you could think of this spoke as our consciousness, our ability to direct our thoughts into any one area on that rim, right? This is what we can do when we want to focus our awareness or our consciousness. We can, I often think of somebody like Tom, who is a master at the piano and has spent a great deal of time focusing his attention on that craft, to the point where he probably doesn't have to think much about it when he plays. Right? I'm sure there's times where he needs to when there's new music to learn, but if he just wanted to sit down and play, he could just play. Stuff would just come out from all of that focused attention. So this first quadrant is going to be our 5 senses, right? So our sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch, right? And these are, so as I say this to you, I just want you to understand, you could practice this at any given time by yourself. You could just practice putting your spoke in any one of these areas at any time and making that a focus part for a 5-minute exercise or 10 or whatever that looks like. So in this first quadrant, we have our 5 senses. And when our attention is focused on those 5 senses, right, that's what we're picking up on. We're listening, we're seeing, we're touching something, we smell something, we taste something, right? And we can put all of our attention on those 5 senses. And our 5 senses, if we're able to use them, are very helpful, right? Aren't they? They help us out a lot. The next area we could go to is something called introspection. And in science, this is known as our 6th sense. So this is when we can actually examine what's going on in our bodies, right? We can take note of any discomfort we might have, any tension we might have somewhere in our bodies, any ailments that are there, we can go within, we can close our eyes and breathe, and we can go within and actually imagine that we're somewhere within our bodies and we're focusing our attention there. Right? So this is an area that we can focus as well, is our introspection. The third place that we can do this is we can examine and experience in our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So we can pause at any time and think, why am I feeling this way? Not angry, like, why am I feeling this way? Because that's not really a question, right? But with curiosity and compassion, we can stop and go, why do I feel this way right now? Oh, or why do I do that? Like for me, my wife can trigger me just like that. It's not a bad thing. We've been together quite a while, but she can just set me off. And if I don't pause and go, oh, I'm about to be set off, I will just respond like the pan and the ham, right? I'll just cut off the two ends and that'll be the end of it. Right? I don't want to do that in that situation. I actually want to pause and say, hey, I'm about to respond or say or act in a way that's probably not going to be beneficial right now. Unless I want to. Has anybody ever wanted to create that? Right? So we can go within and we can examine or experience our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions at any given time. And finally, the fourth section is our relational sense, things beyond these bodies. So we can close our eyes. So let's do this part right now. Why don't we just close our eyes for a moment, wherever you are. Just close your eyes and just see if you can imagine the person that is next to you now, or that you were last in their presence, and just imagine them. And maybe if you can't visualize something, think about the sound of their voice or who they are to you. And if we've got people on both sides of us here, we can imagine the person on the other side, or we can bring them into our awareness. And so as we open our eyes and come back, you see, we can actually have community without being in the presence of others. We have that ability to take our focus from this inner knowing and move it around this rim where we can focus our attention on things. And this allows us to actually change our consciousness at any given time. It changes our awareness. It changes the very state that we might be operating in. And that's all within us. We don't need to pray to something out there to do this, right? We don't need to ask permission from anybody or anything. We can actually take that on ourselves. See, when I think about most of the stories that I've read about Jesus and his teachings, that's actually what I think he's talking about. The kingdom of heaven is here and now. It's within us. We have that ability to move around any of these areas in our life and make it a focus. And you could almost think of it as a toolbox, because we can decide which one might serve us best in this moment. But like any tool, to get good at it, you actually have to practice it. Again, the piano, and even for me for drumming. I used to sit in my parents' basement for hours after school. And first I was practicing to Kiss records till I heard Rush, and then I was like, well, that guy's a way better drummer. And then that's what I would practice to. Like time and time and time again. And so when we want to change our consciousness, when we want to have a different view of what we're experiencing, we can call upon that ourselves, but we have to set an intention to learn to manage ourselves. You know, my kids are I have 17-year-old twin daughters. They're about to go off to college next year or in September. To which the side story of this, I can say this even if my wife is watching, is we were sitting at dinner together, just the two of us recently, and I looked at her and I said, you know, this is how it's going to be soon. And she went, oh no. And I actually didn't take offense to it, but I'm very present to the idea that we don't know what it's going to look like when our kids go if we actually still like each other enough to just the two of us be together. Like I'm not being facetious about it. It's a serious consideration because all of our last 17 years have been wrapped up in making sure that our family unit was functioning, right? Our dog included, our goats included, our guinea pigs included, like all of that stuff that we had, and it's now going to shift dramatically. And what is that going to look like? I don't know. We're going to get there and find out. I'm quite confident we'll stay together, but I'm just saying that there was that moment of, oh no. So to back this up, I'll bring something in from Maya Angelou. She's pretty well respected in the world on changing one's life and having a new experience. On prayer and meditation, it's most effective when it starts to become automatic, when it becomes unconscious or subconscious. When this happens, people do exactly what they know to do, not what they think they know, not what they should know, not what other people say they know. With this new consciousness, change becomes automatic, so that you don't have to think about it. It is already in you so firmly, so securely, that you automatically go to the positive thought and act upon it. As the Chinese say, to know and not to do is in fact not to know. To know and not to do is in fact not to know. Stuff like this is kind of like a two-sided sword for me. On one side, it's like I feel the power that I have a say, and then I feel the power of, do I really need to take on that responsibility? Can't I just kind of drift? Wouldn't that be awesome? Just drift around and whatever happens, happens. So with this wheel, ideally, I think this could be a workshop, right, where you actually spend a great deal of time on this and you do a meditation practice around it and you go deeper and deeper with it. But my hope here today was to leave you with the idea that there is a way that you can think of how you operate and maybe get a vision of, oh, there is this knowing within me, and from that knowing, there is actually a direction I can send myself to. I can call on any one of these four quadrants to operate in, depending on what's going on. And you can bring that into your meditation practice. You can set yourself up in the morning with, maybe there's something that's troubling you, or you got a meeting, or something that's going to be, calling upon you at a greater level. You can set that as your attention and ask, what's the best way for me to look at this right now? And make a choice and begin to work that as a tool in your life. This is really what unity teaches. Unity does not teach that, we just wing it. Unity has many ideas and principles that are foundational on laws of the universe, so to speak. That this is the way it is. I think there's an Eric Butterworth quote that goes something like, just because I can't see it and write it down on a piece of paper with a pencil, I still know that 2 + 2 = 4. That's a law, right? And I don't need to physically write it down and see it to know it. And so we can take those laws and make them our own. And the great thing about meditation and prayer, the really great thing about bringing ourselves to that new consciousness is you may start with a guided way to do it, but guess what? You get to do it however you want to do it. If anybody tells you you're ever doing it wrong, just do this. Thank you very much. I appreciate how much you care about me right now, but I've got this. Right? That's it. Just gently, hey, thanks. I don't think I asked. I will leave you with, anybody familiar with Jim Rohn? Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Yeah, a few people. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, if you don't, look him up. Pretty sharp guy. Failure is not a cataclysmal event. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. The formula for success is easy to follow. A few simple disciplines practiced every day. They don't have to be big. Just little tiny things that you start and move yourself forward, and you'll find they compound. As one thing starts to work, something new comes in and starts to take hold, and then that thing, and then the next thing, and the next thing. And it's kind of like this. You were walking this way, right? But all of a sudden, over time, that begins to go like this, right? And then you end up over here, and you think, wow, I used to be way over there, but now I'm here. So you have some work to do this week. Okay, I expect notes taken, reporting back to the administration here at Unity on what you've learned about this process. Thank you, everybody, for being here today.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place that you can take comfort in the knowing that whether you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come, let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble, a pain you're going through, know that you are not alone. Someone cares for you as an individualization of a divine point of view. Oh, this door is open to you. This door right here, this door is open to you. Oh, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. Oh, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Oh, whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, come on, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door is open to you. This door, it's open. Yeah, this door is opening. Oh, this door is open to you. This door, oh, this door is open to you. This door, yeah, this door is open. This door is open. This door is opening. This door is wide open, yeah. This door is wide open to you. This door is wide open. This door is wide open to you. Thank you.
So let's give it up one more time for Reverend Thomas. And one more time for the amazing Tom Arnson. Woo! And now we come to the time in our gathering where we give our thanks for spiritual nourishment freely given, and we trust generous offerings. And as you contemplate your offering, please take a moment to appreciate your many blessings and know that God loves you, and so do we. And now let's say our offering statement together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. May all beings be blessed. And if you're here in person, please drop off your donation as you leave the sanctuary. And to donate online, simply click on the donate link in your chat window, which will give you the opportunity to give via all major credit cards and donate e-transfer, which can be addressed to donations@unityofvancouver.org. And once again, if you're on Zoom or YouTube, you'll find a donate link in your chat window. And this Wednesday evening, if you're not coming already, come and catch the last masterclass of our Enlightened Manifestation Made Simple series. This is the final class, and Randy will be covering a lot of ground, including specific practices that unleash the power of surrender, the holiness of human action, understanding radical gratitude, and proven techniques of scientific prayer. It's going to be a highly empowering, mind-expanding 2 hours, so mark your calendars for this Wednesday evening, and I'm not going to miss it. Explore Your Inner Being class as an opportunity to join experience seekers and share self-discovery and heightened awareness of mind, body, and spirit. Through guided meditation, movement, music, interaction, breath work, dyads, and more, you'll deepen your connection to your inner wisdom and potential. Connect to evolutionary consciousness in a welcome, safe, and supportive group environment, and help create a conscious community. The next group meeting will be next Thursday, April 4th. No, that's not next Thursday. It's Thursday after is April 4th. And we'll focus on authentic self-discovery and heightened awareness of mind, body, and spirit. And our Course in Miracles study groups take place on Tuesdays in the lower level from 12:30 to 2:30, and on Zoom on Thursday evenings from 7 to 9. And you are invited to our upcoming children's program community meeting, which will be held on Sunday, April 7th, after the service. We would love to hear your ideas and to meet anyone who has an interest in helping us build our ability to serve young families and children. The meeting will happen at 12:30 here in the sanctuary. That's Sunday, April 7th. And if you'd like to join the team but can't make April 7th, just leave your name at the bookstore and we'll contact you. Now, next Sunday is Easter Sunday, and Reverend Carrie Hunter will be here to deliver the service, and we will have amazing musicians, including Tom Arnson, Nathan Aswell, and many surprises doing Jesus Christ Superstar music. So you don't want to miss it. So today's affirmative prayer chaplains are Barb Richards, Mike Richards, Carol Roman, and on Zoom, Lori Malenka. Can you stand, please, so people can see who you are? To have a confidential prayer with one of our chaplains, simply come up to the front here after all the music is finished. They'll be waiting and would love to support you in prayer. And if you're watching on Zoom, I'll show you how to participate in a few minutes. After the service, join us downstairs for coffee, tea, and conversation. And so now, as we bring our gathering to a close, let's stand and say together our prayer for protection. All together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now remain standing for our peace song.